On the hunt for comfortable, timeless Western boots? You already know the best place to shop for quality boots is at your local Tacova store. So stop by Tacova's Nashville, at the Mall at Green Hills, or on Broadway by Ryman Auditorium. That's right, you now have 2 locations to choose from. Grab a cold one as you shop and get fitted by a pro. Tacova's Nashville is at your service, and you can find your perfectly fitted dream boots with the help of their expert staff. Everyone will be asking where you got your sick new boots, but I won't be asking because I know they must be Tacova's. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. Today on CityCast Nashville, we're here with your guide to July. This is our first monthly guide, but we'll be doing it every month to preview what's coming up and what you should check out. So today we're talking about where to watch fireworks for the 4th of July, some food festivals you should check out, some things you can do with your kids, and how to stay hot and how to stay cool. In addition to these monthly guides, here at CityCast Nashville, we bring you daily episodes with stories that connect you with the city that you love. I'm here with Hey Nashville newsletter editor Margaret Kingsbury and producer Marie Cecile Anderson. CityCast Nashville is presented by our exclusive launch sponsor, Tacovas. It's July 1st, I'm Grace Fuse, and this is what Nashville's talking about. So first off, we can't talk about July without talking about the 4th. Marie, what are your recommendations for 4th of July plans?
You gotta cop a squat and watch them fireworks. The downtown fireworks in Nashville are the best in the world. You heard it here first. But it really is. I've been watching them since I was a child. Growing up here, we would go downtown to a family friend's office and be in a skyscraper and get the best view. Unfortunately, that family has moved away since, but now I'm in East and we just walk as close as we can and just hang out in the neighborhood and watch the fireworks. It's really awesome.
Just watching the sky.
Just looking at the sky.
Do you have a favorite type of firework?
Well, I believe that there's some real innovations happening in fireworks in 2024. So I like the ones that it's almost like a palm tree.
Yes.
They like,
yeah.
Have you seen these? I don't know. They're like,
yep.
And they just all go. I mean, it's a sensory like overload, but it's really, really exciting. And I love fireworks. I know animals do not, but this gal right here loves them.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, animals maybe not. Make sure that your dogs are inside and cared for. Poor little dogs, getting all freaked out.
I know.
Margaret, what are you doing for 4th of July?
You know, even though I've lived in this area pretty much my whole life, I have never gone to the downtown fireworks and seen them.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
As a kid, we would go to Clarksville. And now, and they have fireworks every year. And now, last year we went to the White Bluff fireworks. We tend to pick like neighborhood fireworks areas that aren't as crowded, which honestly, lately they are still extremely crowded because a lot of people have this idea. But they're good places to take kids. They usually have like bouncy houses. The one in White Bluff happens at a playground. There's one in Pegram there's 2 different playgrounds out there. It is packed, but it's a lot of fun, and they have like activities all day long. I think they even have like a beauty pageant for kids, which is kind of ridiculous. And it's like just an all-day event. So yeah, I tend to go to the outskirts, but you know,
that's smart.
Yeah,
maybe one year I need to actually see the downtown fireworks.
Maybe.
I mean, they're best in the world.
You know, trying to get that 6-year-old to the downtown fireworks or anywhere close, like it just sounds like a nightmare to me. The Adventure Science Center does have like a kid event to see the fireworks.
Cute. So Margaret, what is your favorite type of firework?
Can I answer the dragon firework from Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
I love you, Margaret.
I'm just not pleased by any other firework.
It's ruined it.
Oh, that's so fair. That's so fair. Okay, well, speaking of the 4th of July, you can also attend the Hot Chicken Festival at East Park. Have you guys been to that?
Never.
Nope.
Really? Wait,
Look
that's
at us,
crazy.
Nashvillians, local native Nashvillians who've never gone.
Wow. Do you like
Tell
hot
us
chicken
about
or
it.
you just...
I actually love, and I get hot.
My hottest tip for the hot chicken festival is to be prepared for very long lines and direct sun. There's like no shade. There's almost nowhere to sit, just except the ground. I mean, I guess you could bring a blanket or something if that's your vibe.
I wonder why I've never gone.
Yeah, I wonder why. You know what you need, Marie?
A parasol.
And sunscreen.
I've got one. You can borrow it.
Oh my God. Margaret has a parasol?
I do.
Of
I think I
course.
took it
Oh my
outside
God.
to stroll around
That's
in.
incredible.
I get lots of weird looks.
This is why, again, we need to normalize parasols. Another food festival that I'm very, very excited about is Burger Week. I have dubbed myself Burger Queen.
All hail the Burger
hail.
Queen.
Yes. At least for the sake of this team, I am the Burger Queen. And that's because I'm going to be reviewing a couple of the smash burgers in the first couple of days. But that's July 8th through 14th. A lot of restaurants are having these $7 burgers. Some of them have drink specials too, but basically there's this app, a Burger Week Nashville app that you can download that will have all the participating restaurants on a map and also a list of all their featured burgers. Just check it out. Go check out the Burger Week situation. Keep an eye out for the Smash Burgers review if you want to. You don't have to listen to my opinion. And the last festival is Tomato Rama Festival, which is not to be confused with Tomato Arts, which you might be familiar with, the Tomato Arts 5K and that kind of stuff. This is different. It's not so much of a general artistic homage to tomatoes. It's more of like a tomato testing, tomato tasting kind of moment. And it's at the Nashville Farmers Market on July 13th.
Ooh, like gazpacho?
There's definitely going to be pico de gallo, I think. Do you love tomatoes?
I do. They give me heartburn, but
Oh.
I'll take my Tums.
They're delicious.
I'm actually anti-tomato, so it was like painful for me to give that
Oh,
spiel.
no.
But I think that
Do you take your tomato off your burger?
no, definitely not.
What is that face? You can't hear her face.
You can't hear my
the
face,
face.
but you can imagine it. All right, I'm gonna kick it to a break. On that note, we'll come back and we'll talk about some kid things that you can do. Okay, so Margaret, we're now in our second month of kids being out of school. They're bored. What can we do with our kids this summer if we have them?
My daughter really wants to go to splash pads. That was we made a list at the beginning of summer of things we wanted to do for the summer. And that was number one on our list, was to go to some splash pads.
Margaret, what is a splash pad?
So a splash pad, there's no pool and there's just water shooting either out of the ground, usually out of the ground and out of like little playground type features.
Yeah, it's kind of like a built-up slip and slide situation a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite ones. Dixon has opened a new splash pad that's about 45 minutes away, and it's right by a playground, but it is a giant splash pad. It's one of the biggest splash pads I've been to. And there's also some shade over there.
Mhm.
So it's not just straight out in the sun like the Kingston Springs splash pad. And if you've been there before, you know what I'm talking about. It's just straight out in the sun and you boil. I also really like the Watkins Spray Ground, which is owned by Metro Parks. It's small, but it's really busy. And maybe I shouldn't bring it up because now people might go.
Gatekeep.
But and it's fenced in. So you can just, throw your kid in there and watch. So everybody knows about Nashville Shores, but it's super expensive to go to Nashville Shores. And unless you want to buy,
overwhelming, right?
it is really overwhelming.
It's overwhelming.
I don't personally love Nashville Shores. I mean, it's fun, but especially if you have more than one kid that you're trying to keep up with, it's just kind of a nightmare. So I like to go to Wave Country instead, which is owned by Metro. It's a lot cheaper. It's like $10 a ticket for adult and like less than that for a kid. So a lot less expensive. It still has some really big slides and things like that. So it's still a fun place. There's also the Brentwood Splash Park, which has like a playground by the splash pad. And there's also a pool over there. And it's pretty cheap. It's like $2 or $4 a ticket. So it's very affordable to get to.
I hate to say I have never been to Nashville Shores. Can you guys tell me what that is?
It's hell on earth. No, I was kidding. I mean, if you look it up online, it is an RV park. There's cabins. It's water slides, wave parks.
They've got bars there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, I think people come from all over to go there and camp. And I mean, it's a really, kids love it. I remember liking it when I was little. Now I don't do that, don't go. But I also would go to wave country when I was little too. I think it was like my first wave was there.
It was my first wave.
Yeah, and wave country.
That's such an interesting concept of first wave. I love a wave pool. Personally, the last wave pool I went to was at Holiday World, which I can't necessarily recommend. It was really unpleasant and very busy. So what else can we do if we don't want to get into a bathing suit?
So taking your kids to the library is like my number one thing. I go to the library every week. They have so many kids programming. Last weekend, we went to the Nashville Zoo, came out and showed us. They had possums.
Cute.
They had a box turtle and a boa constrictor. And the kids loved it. And they are still touring library branches locally throughout July. Wishing Chair Productions is always putting on puppet shows, and they're fantastic. I love the downtown library especially, but every single branch is fantastic. There's always something going on. So find your closest library branch and hit it up.
And finally, something we just made up. We're going to have an activity battle. We've got things that you can do to stay hot versus things you can do to stay cool. Marie, what's a thing that you can do to stay cool? Cool event.
Well, the first thing that caught my eye that can keep you cool is driving out into the country and getting on that Duck River and go kayaking. And my favorite place is Higher Pursuits. And they actually have July 19th, they have a guided sunset paddle on the Duck River. So it's from 6 to 10 o'clock.
Cute.
And you see the sights and sounds of the river
That's really
at sunset and into twilight. Isn't that cool?
Margaret, you got anything for how to stay hot?
I want you to find a toddler and go to Bells Bend Park at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and just have them run on that trail. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I go out there all the time.
Yeah.
I get a pub sub and go out there.
Yeah. And you have to catch the toddler. So that's my suggestion for a hot activity.
Perfect,
you can borrow my 6-year-old. You can borrow her. She runs fast.
I love it. Okay. Marie, another how to stay cool.
Well, this will literally keep you cool. They're offering free air conditioners available for at-risk households. Metro Action Commission here in Nashville is providing free window unit air conditioners and box fans to senior citizens, families with children under 6 years old, and disabled residents that are affected by extreme heat conditions. So you can call this phone number, 615-862-8860, or email marvin.cox@nashville.gov and get yourself an AC, a window unit to stay cool. And I just think that, and it says that, there is high demand, but they generally are able to fulfill all inquiries.
Nice.
I was just reading about how Tennessee landlords don't have to provide air conditioner for their renters.
Wow.
So this seems especially needed.
But if you want to stay hot, instead, you can sweat in the sun with some summer sports. Personally, I really like going to the sandbar and doing some sand volleyball. Not beach volleyball because it's not on the beach, but sand volleyball. You can usually find a pickup game at Sandbar to join, or you can reserve the court ahead of time if you happen to have enough friends to have, 2 teams, if that's your situation. That's nice for you. You can also go to a Nashville Sounds game if you don't want to play, or an NSC game. Keep in mind that they both have small clear bag policies. So I would recommend investing in a small clear bag if you have anything other than a wallet to carry with you. Margaret, what can we do to stay cool?
So McKay's Used Books is having their 50th anniversary on July 9th. And I worked there for 12 years, by the way. So I can tell you all about McKay's. So what you can do is load up your car, get that air conditioner on, head to our McKay's, and then you can win some prizes by going to each McKay's in a single day. So there's a McKay's in Chattanooga, in Knoxville, and several locations in North Carolina, and you have to hit them all up in a single day. And you get more and more prizes, up to $800 worth of trade credit.
Whoa.
Wow. How early do you have to start if you're going to successfully do that? That feels like that's a crazy road
McKay's
trip.
opens at 9, so I would start right then.
Wow. Okay, one thing to keep hot. WNXP is curating the backyard sessions at Bobby Nashville. I went to the medium build one and it was super cool. And I'll be checking out the future ones because I trust WNXP with my life. There's Pawpaw Rod on July 25th. And it's a really cute setup. Would highly recommend. Marie, one more thing to keep cool to close this out.
All right. What better way to keep cool than going into a cavern? Get underground.
Yes.
It's naturally cool. Go to the caverns. July 7th, they have a Taylor Nation tribute show in the cavern. And which I think would be so fun. And then on July 21st, they have Garth and Dolly in the cavern, a tribute to two of our country music icons. So I actually have never been to the caverns myself, but I have watched a couple YouTube videos on it because they have incredible concerts there. And apparently the acoustics in the cave is unbelievable. So I don't know, I might be venturing to go see some Tay-Tay in a cave.
Tay-Tay in a cave.
Taylor in a cave. Love it.
I love it. All right, that's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. Thank you to Marie and Margaret for coming on and talking to us about your favorite events and what you're looking forward to in July. Leave us a review and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.